beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight. I was out in and out today. And so I love you all, and I hope you're getting out in nature. And don't forget, don't be so hard on yourself. That's for those people who it resonates to. Some of you might be being too hard on yourself. And so give yourself a break. It's okay. You're not here to be perfect. So besides that is a big, huge thank you to all of you who are here, loving and supporting Starlight, who gives me thumbs up, who give me, who share my videos, who subscribe to my YouTube channel, or even leave me a message down below. So also, if anybody would love to send any love donations to Starlight, you can, and I will have that information here. Ping, there it is. And today, what is Starlight going to talk about? So you push the button. You're not crazy, you're just waking up. And this is for people who are noticing things in their reality, and you might think you're crazy. And you know, I'll tell you what. There's times I thought I might have been seeing things, like what is going on, and so a lot of people in the world are waking up, but they don't talk about it. They don't bring it up because they don't understand it, and it can be challenging to notice things, but not understand what's going on. And if you're that person that you're not doing, are you doing any drugs? So you're not doing any drugs, and but you're noticing things in the reality and you don't understand, like you're in the twilight zone, Alice in the Wonderland going down in a hole, and you're starting to notice some things, and you're not crazy, you're just waking up. And so Starlight has been on this journey for a while, and I'll tell you what, throughout my whole life I've seen stuff, I've seen things out there, and I'm like, what in the world? What am I, and I wasn't on LSD. There's been times, of course, I was taking LSD, and, of course, then you're going to be tripping. But you want to go on a trip with Starlight? No, Starlight doesn't. I'm not on any acid, no drugs. I haven't smoked marijuana in a long time, and I don't even drink alcohol. That has been even longer than that. I gave up, that was not hard to give up at all, alcohol for me. So I don't do alcohol, and I haven't smoked marijuana in a long time. So Starlight's not on any drugs. I recently had somebody, they wanted to help me out, but they like, hey, are you taking any drugs or anything? No, I'm not even medication. So, but you're going to notice some things in this 3D reality, this matrix reality, that you might not understand, and you might be thinking, was that my imagination, or what the heck is going on? Like, why am I, have you ever felt like like you go through this and you're not even aware of it, but we leave our body, there's an ad on the videos here, is the spirit in the body, or is the body in the spirit? So I'm listening to this video. It's not a video, it's an ad in between videos. So your spirit, can leave your body. It does that, at nighttime when you travel, at nighttime when you're sleeping, you kind of like, boom, there goes Starlight. I don't know where's Starlight going. So that does happen. We can leave our body, and that is what I know I went through when I was driving my car one time, is that I believe I was leaving my body, but I was, for whatever, and I found out I wasn't grounded to planet Earth, I wasn't grounded, and I was leaving my body, even though I was still in, driving my car. So, and on top of that is that we are multi-dimensional spirit beings having a human experience. So, with that being said, we are multi-dimensional beings having a human experience. So, with that being said, is that even though we could be here, we're multi-dimensional, because I'll tell you what, all this morning, Starlight hasn't felt like she's in her body. And it could be that I need to ground myself to Mother Earth. Like Starlight really had a hard time this morning, noticing a lot of stuff. So was I in my body, or did I leave my body? When I woke up this morning, I never felt like I really, and this is not the first time I've gone through this, is where, you can still walk and talk and do this and that, but your spirit might be, who knows what happened to me this morning. But it's not the first time. This is like, there's many times in my life where, and I don't know, have you ever felt like this? Have you ever felt like you didn't feel like you were really here? But even though you can look at, like I look at that Starlight got I don't know if you can see it, but stars on her fingernails. And I'll tell you what, Starlight is not a chick that does her nails, but this is normally because they always break. Starlight's always, because I'm always getting my hands in the dirt because of this mission that I'm on here, on this journey, is that my nails were able to grow. And don't worry, how much do you think this fingernail polish cost? Like $1.25, and then this star stuff is a penny. So it didn't cost a lot, Starlight. But anyway, I say that is that you could be noticing things in this reality, and you might feel like, what's wrong with me? How come I'm seeing things or feeling things in this reality? It's because you're waking up. You're waking up that this is all an illusion to begin with anyway. Even though there's a wall behind me, it's not there. It's kind of funny. I have like, they're not aliens, but I've always called them aliens, is that they're humans, but they've been here many times and many times. Just like the angels, I believe they've been here many times. And every time they come back to planet Earth, they get pure and pure and pure and pure to the point, boom, they turn into an angel after a while. And, so that is what they have worked on themselves. They've done a lot of work, a lot of, stuff. And that the angels are here to help us out, even though you can't see them. See, isn't that weird? See, because with your eyes, you can't see 100%, right? Nobody can see 100% what is really in front of us, in front of you. So like the animals, and I tell this to people when I meet them, if the conversations go to this way, of course I got to feel people out, throw some, things out to tell them. And then if they resonate with it, then we could talk about this. This is cool. This person is open to talk about this, but not everybody understands this because they're not there yet to understand it. There's a lot of people I met that are not ready. They're not ready to be woken up. They're still sleeping. But there's other people like Starlight and like Starlight and other people that are awaking, and there's different levels of waking up, just like in your bed, that there's people wake up at a different time, in different ways. So you might be noticing things in your reality, and I'm going to share you with what my crazy ass morning was like this morning. It is mind blowing. Now, I'm not going to tell you what locations I was, is that I was in a location a while back, maybe about a month ago. And I recently I needed new towels. I made a video and I mentioned that I needed new towels. Those towels were, I'm not even kidding when I say like 20 years old. They were 20 years old. I still had the same towels. I take good care of my stuff and I don't want to throw it away. But, because of the new year, I wanted, what? Is it a big thing to ask for brand new towels? I don't want to go, some of you are yelling out, go to the secondhand store. No, I don't want to use towels that somebody else wiped on their butt and I'm wiping on my face. But Starlight, they're clean, but it's the energy, man. It's the energy. I want brand new towels that's never been wiped on anybody. I have issues. I do have issues, like even going in a hotel now. I've used those, not thinking about it, but I am a different person now. I like having my own towels, my own sheets, my own blankets. It's good to have your own stuff. But anyway, I had money to go get towels. And I was so excited because I wanted to go take a shower, which, hey, if you could go swimming and take a shower for still $5, wouldn't you go swimming too? So Starlight's like, hey, this is a better deal than where I was before. Before I was only paying $5 for just the shower. Now, I could go and pay $5, which now Starlight can get. Right now, where I am, I can actually go into a gym membership place, and for a whole month, I can go there for free. This is how God works. God sends me to places, and then I get there, and God's like, here, Starlight, you could go here, use the gym stuff, and take a shower for only 26 cents for the whole month. So really, it's like the whole month is free. I can, as I'm here, I could go and take a shower every day if I want to for 26 cents for the whole month. So this is how God blesses me, in different ways like this. So anyway, with the buying towels, so I had the money and I didn't know how much the towels were. I went to Walmart and they all had just brown and dark greens and blacks and white. And like, there's got to be a different place to get a towels from. I want colorful stuff. So when I dry, I feel amazing. I feel, the colors are just lively. And, I like certain colors for my towels. So I ended up going to a Five Below, which really, it's kind of funny. They only had two towels there, but two different colors. But they were pretty colors. So anyway, I didn't know this, but I was heading there to go, get brand new Starlight. Go get some brand new towels. You've had these towels for what, 20 years? Go get some brand new towels. It's, and believe me, my one towel, which is blue and the other one is pink, the blue is always for my body and the pink is always for my head. So that way I'm not, you get the point? So Starlight is kind of funny about this stuff. I even have color-coded washcloths. White is for my face, like a pinkish color, violet or whatever, not violet, but a pink color is for my body. And guess what? The blue is for wear. So yeah, Starlight's like, so that way I'm not like, I don't want to use a washcloth and know where it's been. And even though it's clean, it's just the whole point of it all. That's how Starlight is. I don't know how you are, but anyway, a little bit too much sharing, yes. So anyway, I was ready I parked my car. I was so excited to go see what kind of towels do they have at Five Below. Figure Five Below, it's got to be pretty cheap in there to get a towel. And so anyway, I didn't even get out of my car, I actually did get out of my car. I was heading to this happens to me a lot, is there was a guy really well dressed and he was carrying a travel bag, like a duffel bag, and so he acted like he was in a rush. And this is not the first time I've seen this, is he came up to me and it's like, hey, could you help me out? Because I got to go take a bus. And I'm like, oh. So I'm always thinking everything is a test with the universe. God is testing me out here, because this man is, he says that he needs to take a bus. Now, is he taking a bus? I don't know. Is he taking a bus? God knows. It was my time that I needed to be a blessing to somebody else because God blessed me with money. So now that's how this works. So I was like, oh, because here I only need towels. I have old towels. I ain't going to use them. But Starly really wanted new towels. And so, what do I do? The money. I only had that much money to go get those towels. That's all I had. I didn't even know how much, even if I had enough for both towels, I didn't even know how much the towels costed. Even though it says Five Below, it could even be more than $5. So anyway, I looked at what I had for money and I said, well, I could give you this much, because then I would still be able to go get, I'm hoping that I can get two towels with what I had in my pocketbook. But I had a $20 bill and I had to break it, or a $10 bill. No, it wasn't a 20 because it would have, but he needed like $14 or something. So I gave him money. Here you go. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I had, but I had a $20. I might have had a $20 bill or a 10 bill, but I had to go get change. I couldn't like give him all of what I had because then I wouldn't ever even get one towel. So anyway, I gave him the money that I said, hey, I can give you this much. And then I'm looking at what I had in my pocketbook left for the towels. I would have had enough for, maybe for two towels. And the guy's like, oh, could you possibly give me like $4 more? And so I'm thinking this is God testing me out, because God's blessing me with food, gas, money, all these different things. And I'm like, ah. So I'm like, well, I got to go get change. So it had to been a $10 bill. So I go and I use the $10 bill and then I actually bought, the tile because that's exactly why I was going there in the first place. So I said, how long, when's your bus? When's your bus? Because I don't know if he's lying or not. But, hey, if God's telling me to, give this guy money, I'm gonna, make sure because, God, like if I need gas money later on, that might not come that easy. God might make me sweat that one out, because God could close people's hearts so then they wouldn't give Starlight gas money. So I go buy the towel. It was a pretty pink one. It looked like a leopard pink towel. So Starlight's like, wow. And there's another blue one there, striped blue one. And it's like, ooh, there's that. This was going to be my head towel. That was going to be my body towel. I already got it planned out. So I get outside and I got my towel. I'm so excited. So I give him the rest of the money, the $4 that he needed. Um, and so anyway, it takes off, and now I got to go out and get more money to get that other towel that because I want to go swimming. I wanted to go take a shower. So that happened, and I was in one location. Okay, I was in a certain location, and I forgot all about where I was. So now I know where I was. This is the strange part, is when you start waking up, you're gonna experience weird things. Well, today I'm in a different location. Now I'm in a different location. I woke up this morning. I don't believe my spirit was in my body. I believe I was just, like my spirit was somewhere else. I don't even know if it's here right now, even though I'm talking to you. Is that I woke up this morning and two times. First time I almost went on a wrong way street because I'm in a different location. And it's like, ooh, I gotta be careful with my GPS because the GPS will point in a certain direction and I can think, oh, I can go that way. But, the GPS can make some mistakes, or you might not know exactly what way, especially when you're starting out using the GPS. It could tell you go that way and then you start going that way and then it starts collecting all the information and then it will, oh, I got to go this way. So that happens a lot with my GPS. But this morning, like I said, I believe my body was not, I don't think my spirit was with me this morning. So I almost went the wrong way, a do not enter way, because I'm listening to my GPS. And then now I'm listening to my GPS because I want to go get my morning coffee. Didn't get my morning coffee yet. And I need to get my hot water so I can make my coffee. So then, I'm listening to my GPS and here I am. I'm thinking, oh yeah, just drive, take a left. And I had no clue. And the car is heading towards me. And I'm thinking, what is up with them? How come they're heading towards me? Not realizing I'm the one at fault heading on a one-way street in the wrong direction. And the lady was upset with me because here I am heading towards her. It's like, this don't look right, So I wasn't really with myself this morning when I woke up. And this is not the only time this has happened where, like you're going to notice some things in your reality, especially if you're waking up to, knowing that this is an illusion, knowing that, we've been lied to, not trusting the news, when all these different things, when pieces start coming together, and it could happen at different ages. Everybody's going to learn at different ages, depending on what kind of family you get brought up with. You might, there could be a child that gets brought up to a family that's already wide awake, and then they're going to teach their child stuff. So their child could learn something quicker than you or I, because we could have gone and been born through a family that was totally sleeping, might not even be consciously really, with it. There's different levels of consciousness, so we're all at a different level of consciousness here. We're all not the same. That's why there's such war out here, is because people, the way this whole system is to get mad and upset with each other. And that's, it's not about flesh and blood. It's about there's a force out there. In the Bible, it says in Ephesians somewhere, I think it's Ephesians 6, about we're not fighting against flesh or blood. I could be wrong on that. I used to memorize that a whole chapter on that part, and I think Ephesians 6. So we're not fighting against flesh or blood, but that's how the system has gotten us to be, is to fight against each other. But back to this story this morning that I wasn't, aware of stuff. And so I go and get my, so this lady's upset and I had to back out of that area to get, to a gas station so I can get my hot water. First thing, I'll tell you what, here I had money. I didn't owe anybody nothing. I'm already clear with the universe. Yesterday, I gave a whole lot of money to, it's funny because I was looking for homeless people, bam, they show up. And again, that happened. Actually, I gave a tip to a lady, when I ate out at the restaurant, so this money that I was gonna go get me a breakfast sandwich because I didn't eat in the last couple days in the morning, and I'm feeling weak. I really drained out I had 2 stressful days, so my body was really going through a lot, and that's probably why when I woke up I didn't feel like I was here, because I was totally drained. My system was all messed up. My immune system was probably shot yesterday because I was totally drained for 2 days going through some stuff. So and I don't want you to feel sorry, I'm just explaining all this. So this morning, so I have this money. I'm like, yes, this morning I'm gonna enjoy a sandwich, because I haven't been able to find a place to heat up my stuff, do my breakfast like I was hoping to do, because I gotta have an outlet at a park and I'm new in this area. So I no sooner get parked in a parking spot to go in the gas station, there's a man, the same man that I seen like a month ago in a different location, same, a man of color, dressed really well, taking care of himself, has a backpack, not backpack, but a traveling bag. I didn't even get out of my car, and he came right up to my car and says, hey, could you help me out? Because I'm trying to, I need some money to get on this bus. And I looked at him and I'm thinking, what the heck is going on here? No, this money, you know what? No, I got to take care of my ass right now. I always give. I give and 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 I give. I've been like this the whole entire time. I have given. I have given so much. There's been times I gave too much. I had like down to a water bottle, like water bottles, where I was giving that away, and the universe had to say, Starlight, you're overdoing it, you know. So this was my time to say no, no, because I just got that money. It was for me to actually enjoy, so I can have a breakfast sandwich, so I don't wake up, like I did the last couple of days, not eating until later on in the day, and having stress, it will mess with you. So this man, I was like, I already gave you money. You were in a different location. I already helped you out. You already asked me, and he had a gold tooth just like the other guy. Definitely the same guy. So talk about the Twilight Zone. And the guy looks at me like he doesn't even remember me. Like he never saw me. But no, you asked me for this before. I already gave you money before. I gave him almost all my money to help this guy out. Like, he needed $14. I think I pretty much gave him $14 to help him out. And I took from my own self. I needed towels, you know. But I gotta answer to God. But anyway, this morning when I went into McDonald's, everything was weird. You know, I couldn't like seem to find the door to get in the McDonald's, even though the doors are there. It will start. I'll tell you what. You'll start noticing things. How this is an illusion. Even when I was in the McDonald's, when I was leaving, everything was. I've gone through shifts like this where everything is just like, wow, what the heck? Things are just not normal. It's like like you're, the illusion is, you know that it's an illusion, that things start shifting, and like a glitch in the matrix kind of stuff. So have you ever gone through any of this where, like this man, I'm like, and he said that he came from a certain location. Well, that's not where I gave him money. Who's this guy? Where did he come from? How is it possible? But where he was saying that was a totally different direction, you know? So this is how you wake up. You're starting to notice things like that, like, holy cow. So my morning, I have not been myself altogether all day long. So I had to pray for help all day long for protection because I could have been out of my body all morning for all I know. This has happened other times in my life where I'm like, it's weird. I'm here, but I don't feel like I'm here. Have you ever had that? Are you really here all the time? Are you really here in this reality? Because we are multi-dimensional spirit beings having a human experience. So I know a lot of you might not even want to admit to this because you might think that, oh, people will think I'm crazy if I try to bring this up. But no, you're not crazy. You're waking up to that this wall, even though, I can't put my hand through it. And the movie is Men Who Stare at Goats. It was so funny my first time watching it. And I'll tell you what, that's what, they know stuff. There's a lot of people out there that know this stuff, but there's a whole bunch of people that have no clue to what is going on with this reality. So I don't know what you think about this, and let me know. I don't know if you're brave enough. Am I tripping? No, I'm not tripping. I'm not crazy. I'm just waking up that, this reality. I mean, that guy that already asked me before, that is not I know what I seen. That man, even though I went in to go get a sandwich and get my hot water, when I got outside to get back in my car, he was still outside waiting for other people to come by to help him out. And then he even asked me if I had an extra jacket in my car. Wait, yeah, I'm a female. Like, I'm gonna really have a jacket that's gonna fit you, So I'll tell you what, this reality, what you think, I'll tell you, there's everybody is waking up at a different time. And have you ever noticed that, your buildings shifting, things are shifting. And that's what I've gone through this before. I was at a different place in another location where things were all like shifting as I'm like there, because it's not. We are like, I'm like an avatar here, you're an avatar, and you might think, Starlight, you are crazy. I am not crazy. I'm just waking up. It's just that you have not woken up yet, but there's people that are. That's why there's other videos on people out there that make videos, but it's hard to find those videos. Like Jim Carrey's gone through this stuff. He says he's not Jim Carrey. Don't call, I'm not that character anymore, because he's waking up. He's waking up, and we needed somebody like that, especially somebody from Hollywood, to wake up. Like the Matrix movie, there's movies out there to let you know that, yay, there's people that are aware that this reality is not what you think it is. We've been lied to, and so like the animals, they could see a whole lot more than you and I can. So there's a lot that you can't see in the real reality here that you think this is. I love you so much, and welcome to the Twilight Zone. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus give me a thumbs up, and you can leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. Plus, you could share my videos with your family or friends, and don't forget the notification bell, and check out my playlist. And you can also find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman, Starlight. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.